Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, likers, dislikers, commenters, new subscribers, old subscribers, and just generally anybody who watches these videos. Welcome back. Incoming! So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video, and what can I say? There's nothing really to say. I think the good weather's back. And again, I don't want to say that too loudly, just in case it doesn't come back. And what I want to talk about today is the pros and cons, in my opinion, of motorcycle clubs. I was in one myself for 9 years, and it was great. It was a good time. It was fun, but it's like everything, it has its pros and it has its cons. And I mean, 9 years, and that was basically, I went on the first Wednesday of every month to a bar in the middle of Maryland. For you who know where it is, you know where it is. For if you don't, you don't. But I basically rode from work to there and back again on a Wednesday night. For me, my club dues was £10, and that went to everything and anything. You could get out a small loan if you really needed it, you know, financial help. We always at the end of the year had a Halloween party, a New Year's Eve party, or you always did something. The only real down point for me was that, unlike most of the members who were either self-employed or worked Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday 9 to 5, it was very hard for me to go to a club meeting because I would be working shifts, and the meeting started at 7. You generally be there for half an hour before. You get something to eat, something to drink, and then sit and waffle. But for me, it started. I was having to use holidays to go, and I kind of guess that's where the fun run out for me. Having to use holidays that then you were struggling to not have at the end of the year, where you couldn't use for maybe something else, and it was hard. But the pros of it was that the camaraderie of the other members. I mean, I've members there that I could phone now, and I've been out like 3 or 4 years. I could phone them now, and they could come and help me, or offer me money if I needed money. If I needed anything else, they would offer me a help. The time aspect for me was personally just, I couldn't give it, because it was exhausting mainly, and at that time I was on a 125, so my travel time was like an hour and a half, nearly an hour, say an hour for toxic. So by the time you get there, you're running slightly late. You don't want to eat. You have a drink and then you go home. But then by the time you get home, you have something to eat. You wind down. You're back up and out to work the next morning. It was okay if you got a shift that was like an early and then a late, because then you had that lie-in period. But there was that. There also the whole thing of, as a club, our club would generally try to attend nearly everything, which is great. But then it got to the point where people were saying they would go to this, and they ended up going to that. And they would say they were going to this run, and they wouldn't. Then they wouldn't turn up, and they were saying, "Oh, we're going to go to Scotland," and then we didn't. And you know, again, the time element for people were going to things that maybe people were unable to go to. Now, we were a family club, so it was a better, probably a better atmosphere than most. I mean, we had husbands, wives, and kids. We had kids parties, you know. But it was always a thing, you know, time. If you didn't have the time, and again, you're taking holidays to go to a meeting, which then you couldn't go to a weekend. The benefits of it were like you were members of MAG and Bikers Foundation and NABDA and stuff like that there, but if you're not really using it, I know NABDA is for disabled, but if you're not really using your membership and taking advantage of it, personally. And then there was the other aspect of politics. Not Catholic or Protestant or anything like that, but it was, we're affiliated with them, we have to go to theirs, but we're not allowed to go to this other one because they don't like them, and it was confusing because, hold on, down the bottom here. For me, it was becoming a problem because I had made friends with people who were in our club that nobody else wanted to go near. Which meant people were then looking at me differently. I don't care what people look at me like, you know, it's, you don't like me, you don't like me, you know, it's all the same, but it's nice to go to an event like that and have security. And when I mean security, I mean your other brothers. And I would be honest in saying it really forced me to rethink being a member. Not because it was getting bad, it was more time and effort again that I didn't have. I still wear some of my club merch. Wear my hoodie. The reason I wear my hoodie is it's a nice hoodie, it's nice and comfortable. And that's the sort of hoodie I want for my merch, so I'm holding on to it until I can find that. And I think as well, me not having my license at that time was really an issue with some, because if I wanted to go down south with them, I would have to get I'd basically have to ride pillion for 6 hours to go down south and party, and I was a bit of a beer monster at that point in my life. I still talk to club members. One of my cousin, he's a club member, still talk to him. But it was just a progression, it was time to quit. Oh, some people I don't know. I think I'd been out of the bike club a few years, and I think it was last year, just recently. I know 2 years previous there was one of the members was really ill, and he then passed away last year. Friend Les, and Les was at type of guy that anybody who knew him loved him. And he passed away. I got a text message telling me, I think it was a day or two before the funeral, and I wasn't able to get to the funeral, which annoyed me more, but I was able to get to the after party, which then you get to see everybody. But that is just life, you know. Wholeheartedly, if I had the time and the if I had the time, I would actually rejoin a club, but maybe not my own, but or maybe I would, I don't know. But it definitely made me more confident to ride with other bikers. I definitely trust the ones that you would least trust a non-biker to trust. You know, the big hairy ones with the big tattoos and stuff, and the big, you know, they wouldn't hurt a fly. It was a great experience. Now, I mean, people's experience with bike clubs is it's different, you know. It's gonna be. But if you're in a bike club, let me know in the comments below. If you're not and you want to join one, maybe there's someone in the comments who lives local to you. Maybe they'll get you in touch. As always, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Doesn't take much and there isn't much going on, but hey, it's all fun and games. Don't forget, keep it lit. And if you can't keep it lit, join a club and get some support. There's always people who know what to do and when to do it and how to do it and all that fun stuff.
Incoming!